Manchester. What images come to mind? The historic canals that run through Deansgate? The social inclusivity promoted in the gay village? The tens of thousands who walk through the city centre every day? Or perhaps this? This is Angel Meadow, the forgotten Genesis.
My name's Ruby, I'm 20 and I'm currently studying at the University of Salford.
My name is Bradley, I'm 27 and I am an artist.
Hello, my name's Harry, I'm 28.
What topics of history are you currently interested in?
For me, because I have an interest in nuclear history, probably Chernobyl, Fukushima come into mind for me. And yeah, mainly wars.
You can't shake a stick anywhere in England without someone bringing up World War One or two, mainly two.
I've learned quite a lot about, the First and Second World War especially, and a lot about poverty, especially during the Depression from both wars, and also pre-war during the industrialist age.
Death and misery, that's what we like to look into and hear about.
What do you know of Angel Meadow?
Nothing much really. I know it was in Manchester. That's about it.
It's one of the most fascinating sort of places, kind of, in Manchester stroke in the world, just because you've got this very kind of concentrated area that has an extraordinary kind of history. Angel Meadows itself was the burial ground for the poor of Manchester. So the people who couldn't afford to go to a sort of normal cemetery and have their own individual grave. So they talk about these caverns of death, where basically they would dig an open pit and they would start filling it up with bodies. Once the pit was filled, they would cover it over with earth and build another. Once those bodies were buried, and they're unmarked graves, but other people would come along and would dig up the soil because they could sell it as fertilizer. It's decided that they would put flagstones over the sort of cemetery, but they would talk about when it rained, bits of body would come out, and so you stories of kids playing football with skulls and things. The conditions were apparently horrendous. A house with 4 rooms. There's no kitchen, there's no toilet, there's no hallway, there's just 4 rooms, and each of those rooms would have housed a family. And because of the sort of the circumstances at the time, there could have been 10, 11, 12 kids in each family. So one house with 4 rooms might be housing 50 people.
Although the conditions were unknown outside of Manchester, the arrival of an international writer brought the attention of the nation and the wider world towards Angel Meadow.
Engels, walked through, or was taken through Angel Meadows and kind of described it as hell on earth because people like Engels were writing about it. People, worldwide knew about it. It was the inspiration for Engels to sort of start writing about the sort of, the conditions of the working class. People were, appalled and fascinated at the same time. Well-meaning kind of philanthropists sort of set up kind of ragged schools there. The National Children's Protection Society came from that. And without the people who lived in Angel Meadow and worked in the mills, you would not have had the kind of industrial revolution that we had.
The cruelty of Angel Meadow was not an isolated case. Its stories, although uncorrelated, possess an eerie similarity to the new tragedies that would emerge in the coming millennium.
The only examples of mass graves that I can think of is during the Holocaust. That's the only time that I seem to have encountered any mass graves.
Probably quite easy to find a lot of repeats throughout history in a lot of different places, to be honest.
Specific tragedies will be forever remembered by world history, but Angel Meadows was not. The hellish conditions it brought to the attention of scholars, the government acts it helped create, and the people the 40,000 who perished living in the Industrial Revolution, its impact lives on. But why has its history almost been forgotten?
You know, education feels that there are more important things to teach people, or that just people don't really care enough. A lot of people's perception of places, especially ones like Manchester that has like a rich history, especially of being built up by, you know, poorer classes, that if it's not surface level, then they might not be as interested to learn about it.
We don't really want to think about the bad bits of history. We never really do. We always kind of want to gloss it over and think about the nice, friendly things, or let's think about the times when we were heroic, and let's think about the times we stood against tyranny, that kind of stuff.
It's quite fitting for the situation, I suppose, because nobody seemed to care then, and some people don't seem to care now.
There's lots of kind of new buildings, there's lots of new kind of developments, and none of them mention the fact that, they're built next to this graveyard. It would be like, kind of building on Auschwitz or something. It's kind of, it's that historically important. The ghosts that were there are still there, and you can build a city from bricks and glass and steel, but actually so much of the city is to do with the people and the spirit of the people, and that kind of has to be there. There's always going to be that sort of tension between the kind of bright, shiny new city and its kind of historical past. But there's something lost when that disappears and isn't kind of remembered and known about.
Beneath this fallow meadow of compacted soil, gnarled roots twisting in eternal toil, remembrance for butterflies that once charmed you in flight, and rekindling images of passion and delight, of endless golden days and rolls in the grass, just another shy dreamer and his favourite lass, of when Manchester's skies shone honest and blue, before the tempest of progress rained down upon you, waiting to reap secrets of a harvest long past, and grow new branches to your forgotten tree at last.